Okay, so I'm going to show how to do some basic arithmetic with the TI-30X2S model scientific calculator. Here is x a solution of this equation. Now we had checked this by hand. Using the calculator, your first step is still going to be exactly the same. You should have this line written out where you substitute in 8, what we're checking, everywhere we had an x in the equation. Then, what's nice about the calculator is we can just enter that. 4 minus 3, open parentheses, 2, open parentheses, 8, close parentheses, minus 5, close parentheses. All I have done is entered exactly what I have here into the calculator. When I hit enter, I get negative 29, which is what I had had. On the right, so I'd write down negative 29. On the right, I have 19 minus 8. Well, 19 minus, I don't actually need the parentheses, but I can be getting into the habit of that. And I get 11. So my statement, negative 29 is 11, is false. No, 8 is not a solution. Now, a couple of things to be careful about with the calculator. Be sure you see the difference between the subtraction sign, our operation keys are all in one color, and the negative sign, using for a negative number. Because if I had 19 and then I used a negative sign instead of a subtraction sign, I'm going to get an error message. When I hit the clear button, the cursor is over where the calculator says I've made my mistake. There it's 19 negative 8. That doesn't make any sense. Notice when I change that negative sign to a subtraction sign, the subtraction sign is larger and a little bit lower on the calculator. But you will make careless errors with that. That's why you want to be sure you know how to do this work by hand as well. Some other basic things with the calculator. Fractions. 8/15 minus 13/90. On this model, let me clear that out, I have this key as my fraction key, the A, B over C. So 8/15, I can do 8 fraction 15 minus, be sure you're using the subtraction sign, not the negative, 13 fraction A, B over C, 90 equals, and it gave me the answer as the fraction, which is kind of nice. I could have done this using my division. 8 over 15 minus 13 over 90. I've got my answer as a decimal. I can convert decimals to fractions and vice versa using this one, the fraction to decimal key. I'm going to need the second function to get to it, so I'm just going to say second. Take my answer and make it, if it was a decimal, a fraction, if it was a fraction, a decimal. 7/18. Here, 12 1/6 plus 8 2/3. On this calculator, it is nice because you can use this key, the A, B over C, and enter mixed numbers. 12 fraction 1 fraction 6. So that's going to be 12 and 1/6 plus 8 fraction 2 fraction 3 plus 8 2/3. 20 and 5/6, what we had gotten before. If I wanted this as the improper fraction, above this key, A, B over C to D over E, is a conversion between improper and mixed numbers. Convert it, 125 over 6. And again, play with the calculator to get comfortable with it. Now here, this is again one of those places where the parentheses will really, really matter. Negative 5 squared minus 12 times negative 5 plus 4. Using parentheses, again, be careful that you've got your negative sign rather than your subtraction sign. -5, close parentheses, to the second power. Now, I've got a squared key directly here, but this caret is what I can use to raise to any power. So I've got -5 raised to the second power, minus, again, careful with the subtraction key, 12, parentheses, -5, plus 4. And I've got a positive 89. Whereas here, without the parentheses, -5 to the second power. Here my base is going to be just the 5, not the negative. So -5 squared with parentheses would be a -5 times a -5, positive 25, whereas -5 squared, this is saying a base of 5, 5 times 5, 25, and then we're negating the whole thing. -12 times -5 plus 4, 39. Very different answer. This is also why writing out, when you're checking a solution, write out what that substitution should be. Enter it on the calculator just like you have it written. Don't be sloppy with parentheses. It makes a big difference.